Hi, welcome in to Say What Doodles. My name is Gob. The plan is I'm going to be sitting here drawing a PFP. It's a Say Community PFP. So somebody who won a competition quite a few weeks back, probably a couple of months ago. They don't even know they won officially. But the idea was that whoever was the winner, I would draw their PFP, but do it in an IRL version. So that's what I'm going to do. I've got a bunch of Posca pens, got a bit of cardboard. So I'm going to draw it live. You can see a little bit of tracing in there, so it might give you a clue on who it is or what community I'm drawing from as well. And yeah, that's the plan for today's session. I'm also going to be listening in to the Say What show over on X. So yeah, let's get onto that. Probably not going to be too much talking. It's mainly going to be me listening in and maybe contributing to that conversation. But yeah, it's just a drawing stream. So if you're enjoying the drawing, then please share this around. Let everybody know what's going on. But yeah, that's what's happening. Let's do it.
Just ultimate comfort. You know, life is hard sometimes. Sometimes you just want to feel that warm embrace. You know that your hard times, they're gonna pass, and it's just gonna be okay.
Exactly. Show up after a long day in the trenches. You're like, I'm tired, boss. And Sarah McLachlan's like, come here, baby. Come here. It'll hit a million market cap before you know it. Just go to sleep. You'll be fine. GM, everybody. This is not the song we'll be starting off with. Just figured, I don't know.
Can the song to start with be more depressing?
Of course you would find this depressing, heathen. Here you go.
Depressing. Because there's dogs dying. Because there's dogs dying everywhere, and if I don't give them $1, they're gonna fucking die.
Exactly. This conversation, it actually has, for the first time, I associate this song with anything else than the fucking dogs that are dying. So it's actually crazy. This song is forever for me tied to that graphic.
All right, my people. GM, let's get this fucking started. See you on the other.
I'm gonna kill these jellyfish guys.
Oh no! What they
I'm
do?
Gonna kill them. Let me
Let's kill these fucking jellyfish. Let's go. GM fan.
When it feels right.
There you go, heathen.
And all of the madness.
Don't let those starving puppies get you down.
It's time to get out. Step out into the street. It's right there at your feet. Well, I know a place where we can dance.
I was just about to say, this show was glitchy as hell yesterday. Loads of connection issues, people rugging. Fingers crossed it's a bit better today, but if it breaks up, it breaks up. We'll see how we go on. But yeah, do me a favour if you would like a little bit of drawing, listening to the Say What show, that kind of stuff, then please share this tweet, this post, so that everybody else who you think might be interested can get involved. You can get involved in the conversation as well, so you might just need to click on the actual video to be involved in the conversation. So feel free to go and write something in there. I will try and answer questions if we get any questions and things like that. Yeah, other than that, we're just going to listen in. I'm going to do a bit of drawing. Can you tell what I'm drawing yet?
Too much going on. Tonight is gonna be a night like you never know. We're gonna have a good time the whole night long. Oh, feel the beat and the rhythm of the night. Dance until the morning light. Forget about the words on your mind. You can leave them all behind. Feel the beat and the rhythm of the night. Oh, yeah. That's right.
Smudge already.
Good morning. Good evening. Good night. Welcome to episode 215 of Say What? What is going on? Getting ourselves through the week, man. It's a Wednesday, December 11th. Popping up to that Christmas time frame, Biggie Poppins. We're getting close to that Christmas day. When did you figure out, hey, earmuffs, everybody. I don't know if kids are watching. I want to ask the question. You know what question I want to ask here, but I don't want to ruin anything. So earmuffs on this. I'm going to ask Biggie Poppins in like the next minute, maybe. So hide your kids, hide your wife. Biggie Poppins, happy to see you, sir. You're pulling like triple duty today on some of these spaces, by the way. He's on 2 pledge spaces and Say What.
Let's go.
Lock in, baby. What's up, GM?
Yes, sir, man. Yeah, I can't wait to introduce you to Drew Barman. What was I going to say? Well, I'm very curious. What was your question that you want earmuffs for? Because, yeah.
When did you figure out the big man? You know the question. The Christmas Day presents.
Mm-hmm.
When did you?
When Santa was no longer real. I said it. I forget, but I like willfully and happily for a very long time. I did not give 2 fucks. Like people, I don't know exactly how I was convinced. Maybe like they had to take me out into the fields with baseball bats and like make me accept reality. But I fought that shit tooth and nail. I remember. And to this day, I don't know. Like I see like big dudes with fucking white beards, and I think fucking Santa Claus, goddamn Santa Claus, cousin of Santa Claus or whatever. But just I like Santa Claus, man. I think he's like a cool fella to have drinks with. That's always been my take with him, and so I like to believe that out there, there's dude, Hemingway, fucking obviously related to Santa Claus, and he fucking got down. He went hunting and drinking and doing all kinds of shit. So yeah, it was a tough road. I was eventually convinced, but there's a small part of me, Q, that still believes that it could have all been a lie, and that at least Santa's children are walking amongst us, secretly taking note of how you behave and how well you can hold your liquor during the holiday.
Does anybody up here also have where did Kris Kringle? Does anybody know?
It feels like Europeans trying to hijack our shit. To be honest, Kris Kringle. It sounds like Krispy Kreme. Get the fuck out of here.
He just morphed from like the guy with the most Christmas spirit to saying, "Get the fuck out of here. Get off my stage, bitches." Wayne, man, did you have something?
No, Kris Kringle. I thought maybe it was like a saint thing, but no, I think there's another name for the saint.
Folks, we got a lot to cover.
Guys, before you move on, look,
the Santa's Village, mate. I'm actually planning a trip into the fucking Arctic for Christmas, mate. And it is in Finland. It is in Finland, mate. So I don't know. Santa's home is in Finland. So it's hijacking by Europeans bullshit. I just want to shout out European homies. I'm not even European, but just want to correct the record there. I like that. For some reason, Nikki thought you were European.
Thank you for checking Biggie early in this episode. He needs to be knocked out of peg sometimes.
Hey, it's strange because like I've seen the same type of winter wonderland in Durango, Colorado, and so I don't know. And I think Iceland is trying to compete in this regard as well. I don't know who to trust, sir, to be honest. But Kris Kringle, it just doesn't have the same ring as,
All right, I'm gonna pull us into some positivity here. I would love to know. Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna ask that because I want to move on. It's a sad day when you figure out the truth. But the Christmas spirit still lives. I'm gonna pull us into some other combos. Bitcoin's at all-time highs, all of that good stuff. So congrats to all of you non-paper-handed bitches that survived the small little dump. Who knows where we go from? But we shall see. The market's back on, Biggie. Everything's pumping. Peanut got the Coinbase listing. Although I was looking at the Peanut chart, it didn't have that much of a response. But I'll go take a look at it here again today. Pengu,
can I?
Go.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I wanted to add it, and it may add a little bit of flavor here to the Pengu drop stuff. But Q, I've been slowly coming around to this. I don't know. I'm not like necessarily for Deets, but here's the thing that I've been like considering because I was over at the pledge spaces right now, and we're talking about like how to refer to them. Are they Jeets, turncoats, or deserters, or what have you? Right? Should we single them out? Should we lambast them for their weak-handed fucking hands? Or should we just let them, skate away and go grift yet again somewhere else, right? I don't know, man. Like, to me, here's the question really, Q. In terms of, like, because, I get it. Like, I don't want to come off as, like, uber moralistic, in that regard, which is listening to Sarah McLachlan. But, like, is it good marketing, right? Because we saw it with the gods, right? Like when they had the paper hand bitch tax, which you refer, we now, use it with everything. Would you say it's good or bad marketing? Because honestly, like that's where I'm starting to come around and say, maybe not lambasting them and like absolutely being terrorists in their shaming.
I'm going to leave and go back in. It keeps chopping out. I'm not sure if it's me or them, but let's try it again.
Fucking mob to get everybody that was cheating initially. I will say, the community actually just has to decide what its voice is, right? Because if it's going to be kind of a highbrow or a space where people can feel like there's intelligent conversations, or what I'm talking about, like kind of that style of community, then I don't think the community voice should then be like we're fucking Red Milia, right? Like each community has their own kind of narrative, their own kind of feel to it. I was listening to Cap talk about meeting Frank DeGods in, if you can call it that, meeting Frank DeGods in Miami, or that crew. And they said that, it wasn't that great. I'm like, well, yeah, that's the DeGods way, to be a fucking prick, basically. Like the whole community kind of has this like, we're fucking cool and we're just gonna, do dumb shit and it's gonna be funny as hell. And I wouldn't expect to meet Frank and be like, oh, this is you know what? He took a lot of time out of his day to come and sit with me and do all this stuff. That's not the feel of that community. So I think, Pledge has to decide, what they want to be. If they want to go that route, I think it's incongruous when you have a community say, oh, we're going to be super, tapped in and people are going to be, nice to each other. And then we start calling people out. And it's just forming too. I will say that, like that community is just forming. The voice hasn't been decided, in my opinion.
For sure, that's very fair. What's up, Wang Man?
GM. Did Cap get the cold shoulder from Frank? Did Frank fucking give him the, who's this guy talking to me?
It might have been Roy that said it, but I don't know. Cap's on stage with us. Let's bring in these guys while we have this.
Yeah, what happened?
Super apt.
Let's
Cap,
do it.
Hey, sir, GM. Nice to see you.
The fuck's going on, dude? Happy motherfucking hump day, dude. It's Wednesday. The market looks to be on a recovery, like you guys are saying. And no. Frank didn't give me the cold shoulder, dude. It's more like meeting Frank is like, I don't know, man. It's like it left something more to be desired, right? It's like the conversation. Hey, Frank. Yeah, first time I met him, I went up to him and I was like, Saturday, you better be there, motherfucker. Fuckers versus D-Gods, or I'm kicking your ass. And he looked kind of scared and confused. Like, he didn't really know, much about the basketball game or what was being planned with it, just that there was a basketball game and he was playing somebody, or D-Gods were. And he was like, yeah. And I was well, man, really happy to bring our communities together.
D-Systems, appreciate that, mate.
Out, network, have some fun, play some games, right? And he was like, yeah, totally, man. And then
it'll get better.
Kind of like
looks a bit ropey at the moment, but it'll get better.
Glass eyes and the window went up, and then it was like nothing else. There's nothing else there to talk about, right?
That's interesting, man.
That works for him.
Fast forward to the night at the Magic Eden Villa. While they were kicking everybody out, Frank, D-Gods, and the rich motherfuckers all, setting up their poker game, right? And they have these really cool chips on the table that has like a gorilla or a chimpanzee or a monkey of some kind on the side of the chip, like a silhouette of it, right? It's really fucking cool. And he's stacking the chips up, setting them out. I'm like, oh, what's up, Frank? Good to see you again. He's like, oh, hey, man. And I try to dap him up. It's like, just limp fished. You ever shake someone's hand? It's just like limp fish.
I hate that. I hate that. I want to go wash my hands when I get that.
And so then he just continues to set up the poker table, and I try to continue the conversation. I note the chips. I'm like, oh, man, these are really fucking dope. What are these? Are these like some Kongs sponsored chip? Because low-key, they look like Kongs, like cyber Kongs, right? And I picked one up, and I started looking at it, and he was like, no, apes. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. It's tight. Nothing. All right, man. Well, y'all enjoy the game. I'm getting the fuck out of this lame-ass party. Hope y'all have a good night.
You know what? It's funny because the picture that I have that Ed sent me of him and Frank with the Cappy skateboard. Frank looked very comfortable. He was wearing sweats, what looked like maybe some Crocs. Looks like he hadn't had a shower in a while. Maybe. So maybe he's just, he's rich as fuck and he's just in his world or something. I don't know.
No, that's definitely what it is. He's in a different financial stratosphere than I. And I tried to vote multiple times, Sonny and Frank, during the D-Gods event. And after when I saw Frank, I was like, yo, we should trade some fuckers for some D-Gods. Let's do it, man. We had the game. Be cool. So we can make it happen. Sonny kind of just laughed his ass off and walked away. Frank also kind of laughed his ass off and didn't say shit. And then when I asked him again that night at the Magic Eden party, he was like, yeah, man, maybe we could work something out. We could do that. That's what he said. But that was it. All right. Well, whatever.
All right, welcome to the Frank to God's hating space here.
It wasn't hate. It was just observations.
I
feel that.
I don't hate him at all, dude. You know what I'm saying? I think Sonny is a way better community representative for D-Gods, and Frank literally is on that day-to-day CEO shit, and I'm too rich to and busy to maybe do the minutia of shit. But I don't know.
I do think the best project founders can do both, right? But the thing is, Frank has made a living off being kind of abrasive when it comes to even the project, right? He's leaving every chain. Everybody's got a way to think about him. I mean, the way that their marketing a lot of times goes off, it's not super in depth. It's kind of like cloak and dagger almost. It's just. It works for him, so fuck it, dude. You have founding projects that are really thoughtful and take the time, and then therefore price sucks ass and nobody wants to talk about them. So to each their own. Maybe that does hit a certain niche.
Well, here's my question to you: next time you meet, whenever you do meet Frank the Gods in FTQ, and he reaches out his hand to shake yours,
well, he's not going to do it. first of all.
Oh, he fucking better do it. And when he does, I'm going to squeeze the living fuck out of it. I'm going to make him yelp like a goddamn chihuahua. And he's going to wake up. I don't care how many coffees he had. He's going to shake my hand and be like, fucking skip to my loo, motherfucker. I hate that shit. Weak handshakes, just say everything about a person's character. And that's, oh, dude. You should kick them in the balls, Cap.
This is what you got to do. You got to play it off like, yeah, he's just some other dude, and then give him the cold shoulder, or you know those chicks that like, they're constantly chased all the time. So
you got to treat him like a hot chick. That's what you're saying. You gotta ignore him. Ignore him.
So don't give him the attention that he's normally used to, and then he's like, why is this guy not giving a fuck about me?
Sorry, D Systems. I've only just seen your messages. Because I'm concentrating on the drawing, I'm not really picking up the comments as quick as I normally would. It does look a bit like that. It's it's a member of the Say community. It's their PFP, and it's a competition. A couple of months ago, I did Stevie Say, did his PFP, one of the goons, but drew it IRL. And ended up sending it to him as well. So off the back of that, I thought I'd do it again. And this is the guy, the person who won. This is their PFP. So just having a little go at drawing this. Mate, that's all that's going on. Sorry if I didn't get to your message quick enough, mate, or your comment.
Like all these like calls or whatever the fuck we call them, and I was like, oh, you're all just like. I was just like, okay.
That's what it was like when they met me. I was pretty stony baloney and couldn't really form sentences. So, I'm just like Frank the Gods, that's basically.
I thought because I didn't know not stoned onion, right? So like to me that is your base state, and I was like, oh, just a chiller, just chilling.
How was his handshake?
Firm but wet.
Gio, what are you doing, sir? Jesus. All right, we've got a lot to get to. The tweet. Yeah, nobody cares, but we care. Cirrus, 30 months ago, one mutant was the same price as 1,000 little Pudgies. Today, little Pudgies has beat the floor price here of Mutant Ape Yacht Club. Passed it this morning. And everybody loves some BAYC hate. I usually have to defend myself from all angles. So this is just added to the pile. More BAYC FUD here. Little Pudgy's passing Mutant Ape Yacht Club. Biggie Poppins.
Yeah, shocking, huh? I don't know, man. What are your thoughts there? Like, I mean, I have some, right? Like, obviously, the main one being, and maybe this is correct. I remember back in the Moonbird days, Q. One of the criticisms that was laid upon your beloved apes was that some of them are not very accessible, and I would wager to say that the mutants are definitely the most punk rockish, outlandish out there. Visually, right, of all of their assets, including the traditional, the regular apes. Whereas Pudgies are cute, cutty, like there's no ugly Pudgies. Pudgies are just fucking cute. Obviously, it's not the only reason behind maybe this flip, but I would wager to say it is an underrated component that as we move along in this space and we onboard the normies and get our plushies and whatever the fuck we're doing out there for other people to see will come to bear. And that's not to say that there isn't a niche and a space and a place for the mutants. I dig the mutants, so there's some really badass ones there, but from a marketing perspective, from looking at it as like demographics, yeah, they are not for everyone. Whereas Pudgies, I think, are custom built to be for your little one and for grandpa and grandma too.
Yeah, I really like that take. Anybody have any thoughts?
I got a thought. Why are you saying that's FUD? Why are you saying that's fudding apes when it's just like what happened? Was someone mean to you?
I'm hosting a show. I'm just saying things that are kind of.
I was just wondering because I was like, damn, he's saying it's FUD just because they flipped. I was like, I feel like there's more to this story, but maybe there's not.
Well,
Apes are going to zero. Pudgy's on top. Yuga's a dead fucking company. They're dying in the water. They have too many assets, too many collections that they're not doing shit with. Yeah, dude. I mean, Pudgy's flipping like mutants is kind of maybe FUD because it's like, why aren't apes also progressing? What are they doing? Where are they doing
anything? They're not doing anything. I haven't
seen dude. They're fucking going to zero is what they're doing. The gap is just going to become greater.
All of that is associated with posts like that. And you can't, write it in stone on me, please. I'm just hosting the show saying
Nifty hates
things. But, yeah, I fucking hate Pudgies, dude. I hate apes. Is that a good enough answer, Grill?
You only like Doodles, bro, and you don't even own one. It's crazy.
It's very helpful.
I own a Doodle.
It's very helpful. I feel like
we co-own his PFP.
I feel like it definitely comes down to, and this is going to sound like glazing, I guess, but, Luca's the real deal, man. Like, that guy, he's got a plan. He's got a great team around him of smart people, a great team of engaged people, a great team of friendly people. And, like, as we can see based on, our reaction to, hey, we got... the kind of the cold shoulder, but that's what people want. Dude, we were standing in line to go to the Pudgy party, and it sounds small, but like Luca was shaking people's hands in line. That's something that goes a long way to people, and like it's not only Pudgies at that party; it's other people. And when you see someone like that, that's the CEO of a company that's out and about and taking the time out of their day to do that, I think it goes a long way. And not only that, but they're executing. They are saying what they're going to do, and they're doing it. And I've said this before. Like a lot of these, I equate to a lot of like drops as Kickstarters in a way, and they're. I know that they took over the project, and so it's a little bit different. But, we call a lot of us, I don't, but a lot of people on the timeline call themselves investors, right? And investors are seeing a return and seeing what their money is going toward, right? So I think it's got everything. I don't know that it's got to do with the cuteness or anything like that. It really might have to do with execution, and obviously now everyone's pumped for the airdrop, right? I'm fucking stoked for this airdrop of Pengu, right? And like as things keep coming, I think it's just going to get better and better, and I think it's going to become. I think they're just going to continue to separate themselves until that next person with the vision and the ability to get themselves out there and be in pictures and shake hands and shit like that comes around. And I think I think the BAYC leader has been, dealing with some health issues. That doesn't help, right? Like, it's hard to do stuff when you're not out there in front of people every single day. And that's what they do. They show up every day. They do the soul bounds. There's just, I could just go on and on and on.
So let me ask you, Grilled, since you shook Luca Net's hand, does he have a strong handshake?
You know that thing where you put your hand out and then as soon as they're about to give you 5, you like, you swipe your hair and you're like, too cool. That's what I did.
Wow. Surely. And his reaction?
I'm just kidding. What were you going to ask me, Biggie?
Does he have a strong handshake?
It was, you know what? It was more of a dap, right? It was like one of those 5s, and then you like, you grab each other by the fingers, like one of the, and then you like, you snap and shit.
Oh, there was a snap off the
snap, bro. Buy everything, dude.
Yeah, sweep the floor.
Look, to me, I'll say it like this: like BAYC walked so Pudgy could run in a way. Like they're fundamentally on different timelines, and BAYC is coming out of. And still is coming out of making a ridiculous decision to go the very corporate route, right? Like they scaled up their company to, I'm guessing like almost 50 to 60 people, maybe 100. I don't know.
What valuation did they raise at the last time they raised money? It was fucking billions.
It was wild.
Like ridiculous.
They hired Daniel Allegre, who was like this fucking suit that tried to be like cool, and he was at the head of the company. Yeah, he basically was a cunt. He's like the CEO of Univision now. It's fucking stupid. But they made that mistake and are still paying for it. I still think they'll do well, and Garg is still at the head of the project, which was one of the initial co-founders along with Gordon. And I just think they're on different timelines. I do think that the IP being cute leads itself to having W's like Walmart. Like, I don't know if BAYC would have hit as nice as a plushy little fucking penguin. And so you add that onto their checklist.
Hey, you got spam in your Xbox, FYI.
Yeah, they've got. Oh God.
Oh,
nice, dude.
Oh wow, Sabrina.
Appreciate.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go through this.
Correct me if I'm wrong here, but like, you know, they scaled up. They've got a business, right? All that stuff. But like, was there not a big letdown when it was like, hey, we're a gaming company? They just like did. They just.
Well, the thing here, Grilled, is that they're on a different timeline than Pudgy's, right? Like, Pudgy's didn't have the insane run-up that the BAYC had. And so they're fundamentally just going up and to the right, as opposed to BAYC, which has all of these people who are bag holders, essentially. They look at themselves as bag holders now.
Correct. But they also made the decision to, like, go gaming, right? And that kind of fell flat. And people did right. So there's just mistake. You know, if you make mistakes, sometimes it's hard to recover and come out of the hole. And I think that for the most part, since Pudgy's have been taken over by the new leadership team, whether it's luck or smart or whatever, a lot of what they've done has gone over well with the community and the people around it. And it a simple mistake can sometimes crash a stock, right?
Just going to quickly share.
And it's tough to turn.
Take a look at my X feed in a second. I'm just going to quickly share. I was rejected by Pudgy's. I did some artwork for them about a year ago, and I got rejected. And so have a look on my profile on my feed. Just about to post my rejected piece.
That was insane, and it's not. Pudgy's aren't going to go up for forever, right? But they could settle in somewhere nicely if holders feel like they're continued to, be looked after and cared about and all that little stuff, right? So, I don't know.
Yeah, and I think going back to something that you mentioned there, Grilled, I do think there's something to be said about the leadership or the face of the said project, right? Like we were talking about, Frank and Luca, two, very notorious project leaders, right? Whatever one of them maybe leads by getting people to hate him a little bit and it kind of goes against the grain. The other one is very humble and has like a fantastic character arc, right? Like his story is also something that you want to be a part of, right? And that you want to join. And so very community oriented, I would say. And unfortunately, for Yuga right now, the person who was the likable face, I would say, of Yuga, like you said, is sick and really can't engage with the community the way that they used to. And that's probably something that's hindered them as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, 100%. You guys are spot on with BAYC. I do think that we hit sometime like 6 to 8 months ago the bottom levels of FUD, or I would say just like sentiment, probably the better way to put it. Sentiment on BAYC, and out of that on A-Point and BAYC. So I think eventually they'll do extremely well.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, I'm making my way through the Xbox, so don't look up there just yet, folks. I'm making my way. I'll let you know when it's clear. Go ahead, Gio.
So, knowing what you know, if Pudgy's and they kind of are. I don't remember how much each is at the very moment, but being the same price, if they were the same price, and you knew everything going on with BAYC, and you knew everything going on with Pudgy's and what was coming up, right? Equal amount of knowledge. Which would you choose?
I'm glad you asked this because this kind of plays into the combo that I wanted to have with any other Pengu holders right now, whether it be the rods, the little pudgies, or the penguins. I in the short term, I would want to sell the airdrop, right? Like I have my Pengus or my little pudgies, and immediately upon claiming that token, I want to sell it because that's where I think that it will head. I think we are experiencing the same thing we saw with Ape, which was that run up to 150 ETH. That was off the back of the Ape coin and other side pieces. So, Gio, what I would say is in the short term, I'm trying to sell these two little pudgies as soon as I can claim that airdrop. Afterwards, I would absolutely choose penguins whenever they do reach that, quote unquote bottom after the airdrop selling.
Okay, so if you took the airdrop out of it, it sounds like you would choose pudgies, penguins.
I think so, but also it's tough to like take the airdrop out of it because I do believe that's what you're seeing from the like this move is completely off the speculation and now like the confirmation that they have an airdrop. Like everyone's just buying the shit because they want Pengu tokens. So I don't know, man. It's interesting. Yeah, I think I would still take if they were at the same price. I would, if you had a gun in my head, I'd take the pudgy.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously I have pudgies and littles and all that shit, right? So I'm probably biased, but like, I mean, I'm buying my niece and nephew pudgy plushies for the holidays, right? Like, it's just there's just more. I just think that there's more availability and closer proximity to the quote unquote retail user with pudgies, right? I mean, the closest that we get to BAYC was what, like Justin Bieber wearing a hoodie at the Super Bowl or something like that. But like, I'm
which
actually
is
going to be
pretty fucking cool.
Oh, super cool! But like, does a 5-year-old that's growing up in the new age of Web3 that is going to be learning about this stuff as they grow up, and then when they're 18 or whatever and start trading shit, and like, are they going to be learning and have Justin Bieber with the hoodie at the Super Bowl on their mind, or are they going to remember that little plushie that they played with in their room, and that they named and they called it something, right? They like brought it places, and it's a cute, right? Like, I think that the future for pudgies is just I don't want to say brighter, but it's like a little more clear to me that the newer generation has something to kind of attach itself to. Even with this pudgy, I don't even remember what it's called, but like the Club Penguin type thing that they're almost replicating. Right? You get a toy, you scan, you get that shit, you get online, you go, you throw snowballs at people. People are going to remember that, right? As opposed to the surfing through the sewer or whatever it was, right? Like, I just think that it sticks with kids and the new age a bit better. So I'll shut the fuck up now, but that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, the Disney play is interesting. It was brought up during the BAYC run up. That is obviously the goal for a lot of IP to like have this like multi-generational move with the IP. So I'm with you, dude. They could pull that off, and I think the big thing with this space and the way I view it, bro, it's so cyclical that to answer your question, I would be trying to find the next Pudgy, right? Like somebody's going to eventually take over Pudgy Penguin, just like BAYC was overtaken by the Pudgies, frankly. And so you have a situation where 1,000 little Pudgies could have been bought for one MAYC. The same thing will happen with unnamed IP next cycle.
Yeah. And it won't happen fast, in my opinion.
It's a good point. No, yeah, you're right.
It's something that, it's going to get out there, right? People are going to have to learn who the leader is. Because we're cyclical now, right? Everything, we feel like everything is going to go to zero, a lot of us. I don't, but I know a lot of people do, right? They mint something, they flip it right away. There's no reason to do that unless you think that the value of what you bought is going to go down. And so when that happens, people are going to have to or when you mint something new or whatever, people are going to have to get comfortable with everything around it, right? People have put their blind faith into, like I've got friends that are just so upset about the RTKT, whatever, the FT, where you can get your shoes Artifacts, and all that shit. Yep. People invested like crazy into that. People I know, and now they've shut down, right? Like, people aren't going to just have that blind faith anymore about projects. And I think that because of that, yeah, it's going to be you could be totally right. People are going to, maybe Pudgies will get overtaken, but I don't think it's going to happen overnight.
Yeah, no, 100%. Look, the whole like Web 2 companies getting into Web 3 was a whole nother meta that was playing off with Artifact and Nike acquiring them, all that stuff. So yeah, I love the combo, man. Like, this is super high level. Getting into this early in the show, so appreciate you guys joining and having it with us. We do have that Pengu drop upcoming. I would love to know like the exact, like, are you not playing it that way? I'm assuming you're holding this long term, Geo. But I want to talk to anybody else that's playing this airdrop. Like, there could be like a wallet checker where you can literally like sign a transaction and okay, now you're locked in for the airdrop, and I could totally miss that. I don't want to get in a situation where I miss this like claim function, and then the Pudgies eventually, I'm predicting that they go down pretty quickly. To what level, who knows? Like, they'll probably find a nice little support, but immediately upon people claiming this Pengu, they are going to sell. Like,
you're probably right.
I would bet my life on it.
Yeah, okay, but to be contrarian for a second, what's happening right after the Pengu airdrop?
Abstract launch? Is that...
And with the launch comes...
I'm assuming, like, we haven't seen anything with the abstract token. Like, is it abstract has its own token? Okay.
Oh, yeah. So I think that what they're doing is also smart, where they're hedging in a way, right? Like, yeah, I'm sure that you're right, and it'll dump. That's what happens. But when they start teasing that next airdrop, and like they're in, you see all of these protocols that are talking about working with abstract, right? I mean, as a Pudgy holder, I got an airdrop already of Dimension or whatever it was that was worth a lot. It made holding my Pudgy absolutely worth it at the time. So
yeah, they got to keep that going. Yeah.
If they can keep that going and people continue to get value from just holding the Pudgy, I mean, if I could make enough off this Pengu token that it covers, close to what my Pudgy would sell for, or what, or my littles or whatever would sell for, why the fuck would I sell it?
Yeah, dude, that's a great narrative. I do think BAYC benefits from that as well. Like, you see, they still have a hardcore community that is formed there. Some of that is just I'm waiting for the 150 ETH to return so I can fucking cheat it. But I think a lot of it is they got so much value out of it that they're like, yeah, I'm just here. So
exactly. And don't get me wrong, if the Pudgy goes to 100 something ETH, your boy is selling it. Okay, like I'm selling my last one, right? But like, if it settles around 25, 30 maybe, right? Like, unless ETH goes to 10K and it stays there, right? I'll probably hold it just to see what comes with it in the future. But shit, if it goes up to where BAYC was at one point, dude, I'd be an idiot, I think. I don't want to call myself an idiot or anyone that held...
I'll call you an idiot. They are an idiot.
Here's the... look, we got to move on. Also, it took a long journey. It was a story, or what is it? A road of 1,000 miles starts with one step, or something. Journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. I got through the fucking Xbox for you guys, so it's clean. We're good.
You didn't leave at least one?
I should. I'll send you the DM because I did save the post base Buddha. I got you.
All right. Were they all different, or was it just like one spam?
You know what? I think it was one spam, but I didn't really take the time to dive deep while I'm hosting the show.
Oh, you didn't watch each video? All right.
I'm still watching.
Get back to me.
Yeah,
nice.
Got it. Got it. Yeah. Look, I think there is something to be said about, like, again, going back to the analogy, walk so that Pudgies can run. The holders are going to do the same thing. There are a lot of people in BAYC round trip their shit. Pudgy holders look at that and they're like, that's not happening to me. Fuck that. But the thing was with BAYC, it was the first time this was happening to an NFT asset. Yeah. So there is that where you get to look at. I'm not going to be that fucking BAYC bag holder. Fuck that.
Bro, but what's crazy is I think there are a ton of Pudgy penguins, just like from being in the server since the very beginning, they're like, there is no other option. It's like, I'm holding this fucking thing until the day I die, right? Like, they're just not going, there is a large group of them that is just never going to sell, which is pretty cool. But they're going to round trip intentionally. Yeah, I mean, and I'm sure there was apes like that, right?
There still is.
Yeah, people are upset. Oh, you're an idiot because you didn't sell, and they're perfectly happy, right? Like, it is what you want it to be. So that'll happen, I'm sure.
All right, we need to get to the rest of the folks up here. Again, dealing with the spam post, but we got through, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 215. We're going to talk a little markets. We're talking the mutants getting flipped by pengus right now, or little pudgies at least. So I believe, BAYCs were already flipped a little while ago. I actually like it, man. Like, bring on the fucking penguins. I would like a good kick in the ass. Not that to say that they haven't been feeling this for a little while, but definitely BAYC was feeling a little bit high of themselves here over the past 2 or 3 years. So I think they do have, like, get back to that grind mentality now. But having a competitor and frankly someone that's kicking their ass now is probably good for them. Biggie, I want to talk your pledge here, your pledge space that you were talking earlier, but also I did have something in the shorter term. Damn it, I'm missing it. Well, let me get to some comments really quick and see if it comes back to me here. Owen, with the GM, if you join and say what, and seeing the Xbox flooded with ... This is new. Yeah, we got it. SMS GM sir, Corp Dogs. What's up? What's up, corporate? Dubious GM to the dopest crew of peeps in Web 3. Who else we got? Lop with the your GM fuckers, Nonesty and Taiju. Appreciate you guys getting in the comments, man. Making our way through the show. Biggie, go ahead, sir. What do you want to cover next? Let's bring in some folks too. I know Base Buddha has been patiently waiting, so let's get him in.
Hold up. Am I coming through? Like,
yep. You're coming through.
Okay. Let's get him in. GM, sir. How you doing today, senor?
Yo, doing good. I'm not waiting. I'm enjoying this convo. A lot of good talks to be had. I am on way too much Dayquil, and I'm driving to the other side of the fucking state right now. So it's good to have you guys in my ears. Grown men talking about holding $100,000 worth of JPEGs. You are all foolish, and if you own any JPEG over $500, you have a severe mental illness.
Why?
But
They're
cool to look at.
Airdrop, a large airdrop is coming.
Gio, he might be joking. Like,
dude,
we're back
of course I'm fucking joking. Gio, you're fucking on one today. God damn,
Gio,
dude.
he's a founder of an NFT project, dude. Like, he's dude.
Yeah, Gio, check your Telegram, bitch. Sorry, Buddha.
And to settle it once and for all.
Sorry, Buddha. I love you.
What? Oh, I love you too. What? Given the choice, right? Bored Ape or Pudgy, I'm taking the Bored Ape because because of the provenance. Because my buddy had a Bored Ape and I didn't buy one, and I kind of thought they were goofy. They'd sit in Clubhouse all day and ooh and ah at each other. It was goofy. And then what happened that had never happened before, to Misty's point. And like when the Mutant Ape vials came out, to my knowledge, that was like the first time that you took an NFT and like did something else with it. And that was fucking dope. It's such a shame that like the Mutant Apes are arguably one of the ugliest assets, in my opinion. There's a few cool traits, but most of them are like snot covered, and just not really my vibe. They're not the cute meta, right? I have a little Pudgy, and he's super cute. He's got like a little hat, and he's holding a golf club. Like, that's fucking cute, dude. It's super cute, and I God damn it, that thing went up to like 10, 20 grand. I'm definitely selling it, but I'd be like, well, I really missed you. Thanks for the cash. You know, umami for forever. But yeah. Little Pudgy's definitely beat the mutants in my opinion, but there's just something about I put Bored Apes right there with Punks and what they've done. Kind of I'm not going to glaze them too hard, but I think Bored Apes are pretty neat. I think their IP is more than just a sweatshirt that Justin Bieber wore. You know, the Happy Dad seltzer is not that bad. The banana flavor is actually pretty fucking good, dude. And I could drink like 12 of those things.
Banana flavor is fire, dude.
Wait, Buddha.
Yeah,
Buddha,
dude.
This is I'm not trying to like argue. This is a genuine question, so don't get me wrong. Was that stuff like we met the Bored Ape vodka guy this weekend, right? Like he sponsored a ton of shit.
No, that's a different guy. So there's Bored Vodka and then there's Happy Dad.
Yeah,
Happy
so what
Dad
I was gonna
is way more successful, I would argue.
Right. So what I was gonna ask is, was Happy Dad started by Bored Apes, or was that started by a community member that used their ape for IP?
Yeah, that's exactly it. It was a community member using his ape for IP. And we've seen it a couple of times. There was like Bored and Hungry. I think most of those went out of business. But the proliferation of Bored Apes, I would argue, is still stronger amongst my normie friends than a Pudgy Penguin. And Pudgy Penguin, they've probably walked past shelves of Pudgy Penguins before and not really attributed that to like a Web3 IP. And that could be Pudgy's strong suit. It's like, you got 1 foot in each in each realm, right? Grandma hitting up the Walmart, walking past a Pudgy stand would never equate that to Web3, but she knows the monkey JPEGs that I faded because I talk about it every once in a while. She knows what Bored Ape is and equates it to degenerate crypto trading asset class. So it's interesting to see the two pathways diverge. I'm just saying if I gun to my head, I had to pick one, airdrop aside even, it would just be cool to rock a Bored Ape because I watched those fucking things go from a few hundred to a few 100,000 and just sat with my mouth agape. And it was cool and if I could have the benefits of an ownership of a Bored Ape without any of the bags and like entitlement and that comes along with some of the Bored Ape community members, it would just be pretty cool.
And see,
but I'm a happy little Pudgy owner.
And see, like, I think that your point is really good, and it's cool that people are doing stuff with their IP, right? But my preference is for the fucking team to do shit with the IP, and that's why I like Pudgy's more. They're not relying on, there are community members that are making card games and even video games and all this other stuff, but what I like is that the team is using their IP to create stuff, not depending on what's his face to make Happy Dad and what's his face to make the liquor.
But the BAYC team's doing the same thing. Yuga's created one of the most popular Web3 games I think that we've seen with the Dookie Dash, and they used the Bored Ape IP to create that mobile game.
Do people play that?
It was the top mobile game when it first came out. I don't know what the user numbers is. It's probably better than whatever Pudgy Penguins put out.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, people are playing only up
If Pudgy Penguins lets me say the F word, if I can say some racial slurs on Penguin Club, then we're fine.
Bro, how many people in this space have played Dookie Dash in the last year and a half?
More than they played anything that Pudgy's has put out.
I also own a fuckload of Pudgies.
Right, but
and I drove my happy ass to McDonald's and I got a little Doodles coffee cup.
It's wild that it hit like top 3 in the App Store for its category, and like somehow that's fading, or like you're gonna throw fun at it. That's crazy to me. That's nuts. There's no project that's come close.
Right, but Nifty, my point is not at the time. My point is, cool, it hit the top of the App Store, but like
for its category, for a Web3 game,
okay,
that has never happened before.
Okay, which is awesome. It's the first to do it. It's awesome. My thing is, where is it still? Are people still playing it? Are people still downloading it? Is it still up there? Or would you prefer to have
what do Pudgy Penguins, the merchandise, look like now, dude? I don't know. Like
They're killing it. They just got renewed at Walmart. I think they're adding.
That story was like 6 months ago, brother. The renewal for Walmart.
What? So wait until it happens again. I don't understand your point here.
So wait until they launch a new update to the game. I'm just trying to you're. I feel like you're looking at BAYC and you're not holding the same standard
I like
to
BAYC.
Pudgy Penguin.
I like BAYC. I like them. Absolutely. I feel like you're getting offended by my argument, which is why I prefer the other. I have nothing.
No, but you're just. It sounds like you're discrediting the things that Bored Apes have done. It's like you're talking about all the things Pudgies have done as if somehow they did that last week, and everybody cares about the announcements they made about the Walmart renewal last week. That was however long ago, right? And that's the same thing that I think Nifty's just saying here with the Bored Apes and Dookie Dice. Like they've done some pretty good things, some pretty amazing things that were very much so first in the industry across crypto, moving into Web 2 spaces and doing things that had not been done before. Where is it currently? I personally don't know, right? We're at a start of a bull market again, and everybody's kind of just at the edge of their seats waiting for the next big announcements on some of these established projects, right? From Doodles to Pudgies to Apes. Those are probably the big three that are easily pointed to as being like, all right, if anybody's going to do anything cool, it's going to be one of these projects, hopefully, ideally, please.
Yeah, no, I get it. I understand what you're saying, and I apologize if it seems like I'm discrediting anything. I'm just saying, my opinion is the companies that make it in the real world, right, are the ones that have longevity, which is why I was saying, and maybe I was abrasive, so I apologize, Nifty, if I hurt your feelings or whatever, but,
I'm hurt.
I was just saying, yeah, it's really cool to be the first, but does it matter if you can't be, consistent? And I'm not saying that they're not.
Okay, it's coming around to 5 o'clock, so that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed listening to the Say What Show. If you want to carry on listening to that, just go to Say What Show on X and listen in. Let them know that Corp sent you, so that they know that I'm not just ripping off their content. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed my content as well, which was just drawing this PFP. This PFP was a guy called Nox Darkness, a big supporter in the Say community, but never really gets to take part because he's always working. And so, I was really keen to draw his PFP for him today. I'll probably just put a white border around it just to finish it off, maybe do some background stuff. I don't know. We'll see. But, hope you enjoyed that. Thank you very much. Just one more thing before I go is, while I've got you, just have a look at Corp Dog's NFT. We've just put the official announcement out there. You're on Corp Dog's NFT. We've just put the official announcement out there about the launch on Monday. So, please, if you could do me an absolutely solid favour and just go over there, go into our feed when this finishes, and hit the share button on the official announcement. And not just today, but do it for the next few days over the weekend. Tag your friends. Your support will be truly appreciated. I'd really like it if you did that. That's it. I'm done. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you all soon. Take care. Bye bye.